Hey y'all, and welcome to Bible Stories with Brittany. Today's Bible story comes from John chapter 4, verses 7 through 38. I want to introduce you to the woman at the well, aka Young Samaria, aka the Samaritan City Girl. Now, long before Carisha was getting flued out, we found our girl, Young Samaria, getting cameled out by every Tom, Dick, and Harry, or should I say Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John in Samaria. Now, as Brother Future would so eloquently put it, your girl was for the Samaritan streets, and this caused her to be shunned by her neighbors. So when we meet her, she is drawing water from a well at the hottest time of the day. Why? Because this would have allowed her to avoid all of the other women of the town. It is here that she meets Jesus. Now let's pause for a second, because the fact that Jesus was even in Samaria was significant. Now, why was that significant? Because Jews didn't even mix with Samaritans during that time. As a matter of fact, they avoid traveling through Samaria altogether. But if you know Jesus like I know Jesus, then you already know he didn't play by the rules of the day. So he travels through Samaria and he stops at a well where he meets the woman. And he's like, yo, can I get a drink? And she's like, hold up, you're a Jew. How are you asking me for a drink? Y'all don't like us like that. But then Jesus was like, check it. I can offer you a living water so you'll never be thirsty again. Literally. Now, you know your girl was thirsty in more ways than one. So she's like, now how do I get this water? Because I'm tired of having to come here in the middle of the day when it's all hot and I get all sweaty and
I don't like that.
now, I have to admit, this is probably one of my favorite parts in the whole story, because if you have a fondness for ratchet reality TV like myself, and please don't judge me because God is still working on me, but if you do, then this will probably be one of your favorite parts too, because this is when Jesus throws what I like to call a little heavenly shade. You see, Jesus is like, go call your husband and tell him to come here, knowing good and well that girl ain't have no husband. So she's like, I don't have a husband. And Jesus is like, girl, I already knew that. You've had 5 husbands. And you're not even married to the one that you live with now. Y'all just go together real bad. And so he pretty much reads her. But what I love about a read from Jesus is that it isn't your normal read. You see, Jesus didn't read people for filth. He read them so that they could come up out of their filth. So she is like, Jesus, why did you do this to me? No, seriously. She's like, how did you know that? And she assumes he must be a prophet, but Jesus let her know that he is in fact the Messiah. So at this point, your girl leaves her job. She runs back to the city and she starts telling everybody to come see a man. Now, I'm sure her neighbors were low-key hating, like, Samaritan girl, please. You always talking about my man. But your girl wasn't fake. She had had an encounter with Jesus. And she continued to tell them to come see a man who told her all of the things that she had ever done. And it was through her testimony that people in her city began to leave and go see Jesus. So here we have a woman who society had discarded because of her race, her gender, and her reputation. But she was the very person that Jesus went on his way to meet that day at the well. He literally broke all of societal norms to have an encounter with her. And don't you know that he would do the same for me and you? Now, if the Samaritan woman teaches us anything, it's that Jesus won't allow what you've done, when you've done it, or girl, even who you've done it with, to stop him from meeting you at your well. All right, that concludes today's Bible story. I love y'all, but as my mama always says, Jesus loves you more. And that's on what? Period.